Hey, how you doing? This is Artiz Strouds, man. Today we are going to be going over, work from home productive tips. And so specifically, with the coronavirus and everything, it's got people, at home, if you see what I mean. But with that said, I know there's some people who it's their first time being home. Their employers are sending them home and they have to do work from home. So it could be a scary things when that happens. So I know you got those that are employed coming home, those that are also self-employed that are working from home. And then lastly, those that are small business owners slash entrepreneurs, you may have to be working from home. And so this video is for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get into it. I got about 3 tips on how to be productive at home. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Here we go. Bam. So thank you guys so much again for tuning in. And so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. My first hack or, tip would be that you have to stick to a work schedule. I know that sounds simple and everything, but if you really think about it, we as people are creatures of habit. Okay. So if you think about it, when you woke up in the morning, what you would do, you would, wash up, get ready, go eat something, and then you would head, get in your car and head to the office. From there, you had a schedule when you were there. They may have done the first 2 hours, you're on the phones or whatever job you do that, then you take a break. Then after that, you stay on the line, stay on whatever it is that you're doing for another couple of hours. Then you have lunch at noon. Then after that, you're on the phone or whatever you're supposed to be doing for another set amount of time. And then you have another lunch break. I know the routine, man. I've did it for several years, 11 to be exact, until I left about a couple of years ago. So, but with that said, it's scary times, when that happens. So the best way to adapt to that is that I'm a life coach as well as I'm a financial coach. So we also always talk about budgeting, you know what I'm saying? Budgeting that. But this is what I'm going to talk to you about today is budgeting your time. And so I'm going to share with you some ways to do that. So let's go ahead and get into that. So that's number 1, stick to a work schedule. And so here we go. I'm going to go to my screen actually, I'm going to go back to my other screen. When me and my wife, when I left about 2 months ago, or 2 years ago, and one of the things that was I had to get used to, being at home and on my own with my wife and them, was that I had to get used to setting up that schedule, just like I said. And what happened is that me and my wife, we did, back in 2017, we connected with some 7-figure, earners. They're called Marriedpreneur Life, OL and Sway Buckley. What's up, OL and Sway? I'm gonna do a shout out to you guys, as well as put their information down in the description. And so they really helped us out tremendously. We did a 6-month program with them, and in doing that 6-month program, the first thing that they wanted to talk about in order to help us out was, scheduling. And I was like, that's how you be productive, by scheduling? Like, huh? Just like you looking right now because of what I just said about starting, setting up your schedule. But yes, that's really how it works. That's how you're most productive. That's how you can be fully engaged in whatever time amount that you set, aside. And so I'm going to give you some easy wins in order to do that. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So bear with me here as I pull up, just a schedule out of my list. And this is what it is right here. So with this, they showed us first and foremost, they said, hey, build your ideal schedule. So in here, as you can see, you break it down to by which you can set this up. From 5 to 6, what are you doing? You can put in there, let's say, for example, morning routine. From 7 to 8, get the kids up, get them food, get them washed up. So that you can add that all in your morning routine. Then you have, your workday schedule, let's say from 9 to 12 or 9 to 12. Yeah, you're working, doing meetings or doing work. You're on the phone. And then from 12 noon, you put in lunch. Then from 1 to 3, you can have some more work time, or there's meetings or whatever. From 4 to 5, you're shutting down your workday, and then from 6 to 7, you got examples in there. So an example of that is this. You want to lay out your week and do this. So for example, you see this. Monday, you got morning routine, breakfast, start time, work, day routine, teamwork for the week, blah, blah, blah. So you can go ahead and pause this video, look back at this, and this will give you some examples on what it looks like. And so we're going to get in a little bit deeper into this by looking at another sheet of paper that was provided to us to break down, let's say, for example, what is morning routine. I'm going to do that for the sake of time. I'm going to do a quick one. So here we go. So for morning routine, for example, in your ideal daily morning routines, you got your task here. And on here, so for example, you can put in this line right here, I want to wake up, pray, get kids, and juice. Over here in the time, you put 5:50, for example, 5:50 a.m. to 6 a.m. Approximate time is 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. And you could set your time, and then your time is over there. And so that's how you budget your time. I know this may seem overwhelming, but don't be overwhelmed. I just want to encourage you, again, to actually set this up. This is going to benefit you in so many different ways, okay? So again, like I said, I had to create a schedule when I first left about 2 years ago, and then this is my schedule. You see that? It says Daddy schedule. If it gets too overwhelming for you, what you could do is just make it simple for you. Start with the day that you're working on. If it's today, Wednesday, set up your schedule for Wednesday, or since it's kind of late in the day, set it up for Thursday, what your day will look like, and do this at the end of the day. You don't have to do it right now, but just wanted to kind of use that to encourage you. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Number 2 is have a dedicated work area. So this is very important. As you can see here, this is my office. This is where I work at. I have it set up, and so I'm excited about this, to have this set up this way, because hey, it just helps me out. But even in that, so I know that I'm working, let's say for my schedule, it's from 9 to 1 p.m. So I know that when I come in here that I'm able to get to work. Hey, when I was in college, when you was in college, if you went to college, you know what I'm saying? You had places in which you studied and you read. Let's say you went to the college library, or you maybe went to Barnes and Nobles, or the library, the public library. So all those places you designated as a place to actually do what you wanted to do, which was study and all that stuff. Another tip that I would say, if you're going to, have a dedicated area that you're working at, bring all your snacks and everything with you so that you don't have to leave, because that's going to mess with your focus. If you have to leave, and if you have kids, you deal with them and all that stuff. I would also say bring your family into this. Bring your family into this. So if you're married, I would really highly recommend that you sit down with your wife and kids, and y'all work on a dedicated schedule. So for example, I sat down with my kids and my wife, and we've decided that from 9 to 1 that I'll be working. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is when I'll be working. So I come in there, I bring all my snacks and everything, and I'm just straight focused, fully engaged in whatever it is that I'm doing. I use the restroom, and I got a restroom that's not around my kids or my wife. If there's anything that's needed, they interact with my wife. But if there's something that I need to do, you know what I'm saying? If it's really, really an emergency, they'll come and get me. Okay. So this really helps with full engagement, because, for example, my wife is a writer. She writes music. And so when she gets in her room and she just writes, and I try to come and knock on the door, that makes up her train of thought. That mixes up some brilliance that could come out of what she's doing. Or the music that she's writing, you know what I'm saying? And she's very good at it. So, shameless plug for Monique Yvette Music. She's on Instagram as well as on Facebook. You can check her out. She is gifted. She's anointed. You'll be blessed by the music that she shares. And so, hey, Facebook us, Facebook her, Facebook me, friend me. Man, I don't bite. So I just want to encourage you guys in that. The third one that I'm going to talk about is cut out the distractions. So when you cut out the distraction, I mean like stuff like Facebook. Turn off your notifications on your phone, Facebook, Gmail, or anything like that. Unless you have, like, for example, a work email. If your work, you got to have that up. You know what I'm saying? But don't have the TV on. Don't have, you know what I'm saying, YouTube scrolling in the back. I'm talking about focused, and you will get so much more done, you know, in that span time that you have set up. So, I'll put some posts below on some stuff that I looked at that helped me to get more productive, or the video that I watched on YouTube that really helped me in regards to this. So cut out the distraction by turning off notifications. I do the same thing. I also put my phone on airplane, you know what I'm saying? And I, you know, so if I'm doing a video like right now, somebody's trying to call me or something, you ain't gonna get through, all right? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get through because I'm doing a video right now. You know what I'm saying? This is focus time. Focus. So that is it. Those are 3. The third one, I'm sorry, those are 3, but the bonus one that I want to give it to you is that being at home, you could get a lack of exercise. So you want to exercise regularly. And I'm going to do another video on my morning routine and also the importance of a morning routine. It gets you started for the day, but we're not going to do that here. But you want to exercise regularly. And, you know, that kind of gets the stress out, you know, and you could do that at night, or you could do that in the morning, your morning routine, which I would highly recommend because it kind of gets the blood flowing, you know, in the morning. Also, you know, like you did at work, you took breaks. You took breaks at work. And during those break times, I know for me, I walked. And so that'll be good. You can walk around the block. And so the only other advice that I would share in regards to this is that, hey, 1 or 2. One is, man, don't be so hard on yourself. When you first start out with anything, it could be daunting. It could be very hard to do. But as you do it more and more, and do it like 3 or 4 days, and you get into a routine, we are all creatures of habits. So set up yourself easy wins. Just set up, again, you can start and do an assignment where, hey, tomorrow, whatever tomorrow it is for you, you could set up and say, hey, I'm going to do this from this time to this time. This is going to be my morning routine. This is going to be my workday routine. This is going to be this, that, and other. You see what I'm saying? Set that up and be flexible with yourself. You don't have to be so rigid, okay? So that would be my encouragement to you. Excuse me. That'll be my encouragement to you on that. The second one is, so give yourself some flexibility. The next one is, hey, if at first it may be hard for you to get into this, another thing that you may want to try is something that I did to get mentally focused on this is I actually got up as in if I was going to work, if I was going to, if I work from home, I got up, I got washed up, you know what I'm saying? I went and I ate, I got dressed and everything. And then I would go start my car, let it, warm up. And then I would drive around the block, just one block, drive around the block. And then I came home, closed the door, went to my office, and I got to work. You see what I'm saying? And so, because you got commute time, you will not have commute time when you're dealing with this, when you're working from home. So this would be my encouragement to you. And these are the bonuses that I gave you, the exercise regularly. But man, that is what I wanted to share with you. Please share, out of the 3 tips, sticking to a work schedule, having a dedicated work area, and cutting out distractions. Which one was the most beneficial to you in the bottom? So, hey, also share this, like this, and share this with one other person that you know that it could benefit, that's in this coronavirus situation. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to, my channel, Artiz Strouds. I'm a life coach, financial coach, entrepreneur. I'm just here to provide you value, value. And so if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. And until, my next video, peace.